In the next 12 weeks, your life can completely change. All I'm asking for is 3 months, but really to even make it easier, it's 12 weeks, and your entire life can change. You can go from no money to having a stupid amount of money. And what we're going to do today is show you how to crack the code onto how to actually get rich really quick. Now, the thing is, we always say, wholesaling real estate is not a get rich quick scheme. It is what I like to call a get rich quick ... hard work scheme. And so yes, it's a scheme to get rich really quick. And we've shown more people how to do this than pretty much anyone else in this industry. And I don't know how many thousands of deals we're at now. But I can tell you right now that the way that you can get rich really quick is possible. And the way you can do it with no money at all is completely possible too. And you are looking at the only 2 people on the internet that can look at you dead in the eyes, that believe in you completely, that you in the next 12 weeks can make $100,000. No cap, no problem, I don't care you have no money. Okay, you don't need to go buy my mentorship program. I don't have any paid programs. There's no paid coaching for me. I don't have any of this. So I'm just going to give to you everything that I know in my brain, everything you know in your brain, on how to actually go out here and get rich in under 12 weeks. So let's break it all down. Let's share exactly how to do. So the first thing we got to understand here about wholesaling real estate, okay, is this little chart. I like to show the chart out because we kind of have to lay out the land here on wholesaling for a second, okay? So we want to get a deal quick, right? So let's kind of put the end here. Let's put this 3 months to get the deal, right? Let's kind of put in the middle, I don't know, 1 month, right? That's pretty nice. And then what, 2 months?
Yeah.
Okay, 2 months. All right, let's do 2 months. And then let's kind of put on the left-hand side. Let's get a little crazy, right? Let's do 7 days. And let's do like 2 weeks. All right. So you want to put speed to a deal. All right. So you want to get a deal. You want to get it fast. We're roughly in wholesaling real estate. Where are we at here? What I found is, let's put 0 right here. If you want to get a deal from any of these time frame lengths, right? I'm assuming most of you guys want to be at like 7 days, obviously. But if you want to get your first deal in 3 months, heck, if you've been doing deals, but you want to make your deals come faster, and I think anyone can benefit from this little chart here. But what I tell you is, you want to deal quick in 2025. This is the length, right? But what's this line right here? What's the biggest correlation of the speed of the deal? Guys, we're live. Let me know, where is the biggest correlation of how fast you're going to get a wholesaling deal? There's only one answer. There's only one correct answer here, guys and gals, of how fast you're going to get a deal. There's only one part. There's only one way, one reason, one correlation anybody in here is going to get a deal. What is going to be the greatest effect of your speed? Is it how much money you spend in wholesaling? Is it how much knowledge you have? What is it? Now, we have a lot of different things, right? There's knowledge and all that, but really, if I have to make a simple 2-part chart when I look at success and none, it's really going to be motivation. Now, we could talk about time. We could talk about, if you spent 1,000 hours, yeah, that is a good effect. But I think motivation is the most underrated part of what we're doing. And what I mean by this is, if you spend 10 hours a week on any of these type of marketing, if you put 10 hours on the most motivated list, you're going to get a deal way quicker than a non-motivated list. What's a non-motivated list? Maybe a guy that is just looking to retire somewhere else and you got him from like a regular software. So I'm telling you right here, you want to get a deal in 7 days, you're going to have to go to the most highest, craziest motivated lists. What kind of lists are these, you think?
With the highest motivation?
Yeah, which one are the highest? Like, I hate this example, but like someone says, hey, I don't want to use like a heinous example because people do this all the time in wholesaling. I know we hate this, but like, hey, either, the world blows up unless you can find a deal in 7 days. What's the motivated list that you're going after?
I'm
7 days, no money. What are you doing?
I'm going to go after people that are really.
Here, write them on the thing.
So what do you want me to write?
Give me 2 or 3. What are some of those motivated lists? 7 days, get a deal. Probate's number 1, I think.
See, now you're cheating. You're.
That's cheating, but like, I mean, 7 days, right? If you gave me 7 days, what are we doing, right?
I'm going to go pre-foreclosures and find someone that just needs to
put door knocking parentheses. I think door knocking or pre-foreclosure. We're talking about 7 days here, right?
Yeah. Door knock.
A property being auctioned off. I mean, they got to get it done like there.
You can do the auction, but most of them are online now. So I would find a physical. I'd try to find a physical one if I could.
Let's leave it there. We got a lot more. We got a lot more info to share. We don't want to give out the whole cake real quick because you haven't smashed that like button, subscribe yet. But like, that's something very important here. Okay. Now let's call it 2 weeks, right? You're going to see a drop. Once you drop motivation, you just double the time it's going to take you to get a deal. Now, lists like this, right? I don't want to dot it.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Sorry about that.
No, right? It precipitously goes down. And really, a list like this is going to be more of a driving for dollars. Really depends. Now, this really depends how many driving for dollars you do. Because if you do like 1,000 driving for dollars in a week, you have a good chance of getting a really good deal, right? So there are some variables on this, but I think driving for dollars is like one of them. Actually, I do not want to use a dot. My bad. Okay, driving for dollars is like one of them. Maybe like an arrest record, right? The guy's just like got sentenced. You can go a little crazier. You can do like a lien, right? I mean, you can use like an AI list, which we're going to show you today. I mean, there's a couple of super motivate type lists, but a lot of this has kind of this deep divide. And then from here, and then I'll just put regular. No, okay. And then we're going to go to here, right? Then we have another little drop here. And it's not as bad, but it's still a drop. This is like a month, right? This is going to be like general government lists. This is going to be some really like nice stacked list, like a nice stacked XLEADS list, right? Some nice stacked lists, but like nothing too crazy. Maybe we'll throw in the vacants. But this is just general, like the average person, it's a little harder to do. Unfortunately, once we get out of government list territory, once we get out of like start niched out list territory, it starts, the motivation's like dropping, okay? And then it starts going off of a cliff here, okay? And then it kind of slowly goes down and just kind of like a little parabolic curve, right? And the reason why we start seeing the biggest drop off between these 2 points here that I found in wholesaling is there's this divide, and I call it the rarity divide. And I'd be like, what in the world are you talking about? I'll make it right here just so kind of understand this. But like, I call it the rarity divide, which means these are like rare lists, okay? Like these are hard lists to get. These are lists you have to work for. They're not easy. Any Joe Schmo, very, very rare if you have 1,000 of these lists. Nobody has the same 1,000 of you. No one in your market. Not even me if I'm in your market. This is why when you're looking at real speed for wholesaling deals, you go here. That's how you do it. Guys, you can't buy direct mail lists. You can't get TV. Like these are lists you can never buy. Money's not even an option for these type of lists. They can pay VAs and stuff to do some of this stuff, but like this is where the real money for speed and success come from. Like these rare lists. Now from here, they're way more abundant. It's so much easier. But as you see, it goes down, right? Something like this might be like a high equity list, right? Yeah, that's fine. From there, you can get just basically like tired landlords, right? Anything you can get from like XLEADS, I mean, that's not bad. And then from here, this is just general, like, I call it like free data. It's not even that good data. There's like, it's like common lists. I don't know. Like I think high equity from like a bad data source from there. Like it's just data sources that aren't hard, not filtered well, and not updated correctly. There's some really bad data providers out there in wholesaling that it'll take you a while to get a deal there. But like guys, no matter what, if you use any of these lists, right, you're still going to get deals. It's just how quick you want the deal. And I'm assuming you have no money, maybe $100 to $300 a month. Now, if we want to start talking about, oh, what if you spend 10 grand a month? Yeah, we can go crazy. Like, guys, if you really want to figure out, oh, how do you get rich in 12 weeks? Oh, just drop 10 grand a month in direct mail on a high equity list in your city. Boom, you're rich. I mean, we can do that video. Would you guys like that? Could the vast majority of everybody watching this relate to just dropping 12 grand a month in direct mail? Would that be a great one to do? Hey, spend 15 grand on Facebook ads. Go do 15 grand of PPC. Call the PPC leads and boom, now you got 1,000 leads and you can close them all. Oh, wow. Like, is that a video you guys want us to make? Spend 15 grand, that's how you become rich? Like, it's so funny. It's always like the 18-year-old kid in the Ferrari. How do you get rich? Well, get a small loan from your father of $4 million.
Yeah.
And, it's like, oh, nice, bro. But, like, come on. And so the thing is, we have a lot of our scaling videos. You can watch them at freewholesaling.com. But, like, at any point, if you're looking to scale up, you just do these in bigger volumes. Like right here, you do the XLEADS stuff in just bigger volumes, and you get rich doing it, right? But you got to understand that the speed of the deal is how rare it is to get said deal. And the rarity of these deals is how you get it. Because when we talk about saturated markets and areas where, bro, I can't get a deal in Houston, man, it's because you're not doing this. And if you're just pulling like XLEADS list or using another software and you don't know how you can't get ahead in Southern California, it's because it's not rare. And probably in a saturated market, it drops even farther, right?
Yeah, can I add one thing to this?
Add as much as you want. Here, it's a good pen.
No. So one of the things to factor is if a lot of people, you look at the scale and you're like, if you want more information, go to freewholesaling.com. Every list we have in there, like you can put tax delinquencies. We can keep going on. Where it is in it, you can debate that till you turn blue. But here's what you got to understand. This side right here, this. Most people that teach you will just ignore it because they I don't know if I can sell a course on that, but let me, and they all do one thing. Let me make it easier for you. And I'm here to tell you, if it's easy up front, it's going to be brutal on the back. So let me share a little chart with you. I'm going to kind of cut it in the middle. Is right here. This right here up to this line, I'm going to tell you, it's hard work. It's not easy. In fact, you're going to get resistance. You overcome resistance with persistence. Now, as you start to tailor over to this way, starts to get, let's just say, a little bit easier. And then once we kind of get over here, guys, with all your paid stuff where companies will do everything for you, it sounds so perfect. Why? Because there's no upfront confrontation. Oh, $3 grand, $5 grand, whatever the list is, I can just do this. I don't have to do all this. I'm here to tell you, if you learn how to do the hard work up front, you can make it. Most of you watching this video you're getting started wholesaling, you're excited, and you don't have a lot of money. Welcome to wholesaling. That's how I got started. That's how my son got started. And if you can figure it out, you've got to go somewhere where you can pull the highest motivated list. If you think you can skip this part, this is what we call marketing. And marketing is the highest skill set you can learn in wholesaling. Me and Zach teach you to do the hard work up front, get exposure, get the reps, learn the journey of wholesaling, and as you progress and make money, meaning pay yourself, then if you want to swing into things like you can go into XLEADS, you can go any type of software, that's the easy part. But if you're going to get into paid services, if you do direct mail, we suggest you get 5 deals under your belt. Why? Number one, you've proven you'll go through anything to survive in wholesaling. And number two, you know how to talk to people. Can you imagine, guys, can you imagine you just started wholesaling and you just go straight over here? And man, it's going to look good. It's going to be easy. You're going to write a big fat check. And then I promise you, in 3 to 4 weeks, you're going to be scratching your head and go, uh-oh, 10 grand just went out. I don't know how to talk to these people. If you want to learn it the right way, guys, I don't care if you have money or not, start pulling the list, start understanding what you're looking for. In the perfect wholesale market, you're looking for what we call ODN, off-market direct-to-seller that needs to sell. These will point you in that. Did I say the lists are easy? No. Zach calls it a rarity. I call it an earned list. It's kind of like one of those David Goggins shirts. You got to get you get a shirt when you do the David Goggins drills, and it says you've earned it, or like a 75 hard. But so many people just want to go in and just get the personal trainer, have them do everything for you. Here's the secret: the personal trainer is not going to do the work for you. And if you think you can buy your way through leads, you don't have the experience, you don't have the reps, guys. It's going to be brutally hard up front. I'm telling you up front. Overcome resistance with persistence and earn your way over to paid leads. You can do a combo of the both. But like, if I have no money, how am I going to invest 10 grand into some sort of paid services? Even direct mail, which I love and it works and it's easily to scale one person. We suggest you get experience. You get 5 deals under your belt. If you can understand this. So Zach has the motivation and the time frame. I just added everything on this side, guys, is hard. And I know that, but it is a path to get easier in the long run. If you do the easy first, it's going to get massively hard on you quick. Financially, your family is going to struggle. And if you don't what you're doing, you're spending $5,000 to $10,000 every month. After 2 or 3 months, you are going to panic because I hear these phone calls. I see it all the time. A lot of people think they can buy their way through wholesaling, and there's a certain part where capital will improve your investment. But in the beginning, if you don't understand what you're looking for, you don't understand the motivating factors, and you don't understand the time frames, if you come over here and do like a pay per lead or a pay per click or even direct mail, and you know what you're doing, it's going to get expensive really quick. And what I want to tell you is just do the hard work up front. I'm telling you, it makes a tremendous difference.
Oh, yeah. And I don't want to be a hater on the PPL thing, but PPL leads just went from, on average, in my local market,
Yep.
320, 330. We just hit 395, the average pay per lead in my local market. And I'm seeing that in pretty much all the other markets from all the lead providers for PPL. So I always keep an eye on PPL leads because I gave a prediction. I said it's going to go about 25% 2025. It's pretty much already done that. We're probably looking at 500 a lead, and it's probably going up to 600 and 700 in the coming years, which will mean you have to spend 15 grand to get a deal, and the average deal is 15. It's insane. So FYI, I don't want to tell you I told you so, but PPL just went up an extra $50 per lead. So it's just like it's insane. And then I've seen some other providers. It's up 50 to 75%. So yeah, I don't want to get into that right now. But let me talk about one really important thing too. Here's the biggest hack I can give to anyone watching this too. All right, if you're virtually wholesaling, do you see all these dates? Do you see all these numbers? I'm telling you right now, if you do this one change, you can change 2 months to 2, 3 months to 2, 2 to 1, 1 to half a month, 2 weeks to 1 week, 7 days to 5 days. And people are like, wait, whoa, what's this one change I can do? I don't have to do one thing and all this just gets reduced. What do I do? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Are we sitting down? Are we sitting down? Well, let's grab a chair. Let's grab a chair. Oh, wait, the chair's not working. Okay, we grab the chair here. Are we sitting down? Let me get your attention here because some people can really benefit from this. The biggest change any virtual wholesaler can do to reduce the time it takes to get a deal even quicker is if you just pick a better market. I know this is simple, but let me explain something to you. In wholesaling, you have to look at virtual wholesaling saturation. Now, there's a lot of wholesalers in the market. The average virtual wholesaler that clogs up, we think of traffic as clogging up. There's multiple wholesalers trying to cold call a government list, stuff like that, right? The biggest clogger of deals, and I hate to call people out, but the average virtual wholesaler is a young male. Now, there's nothing wrong with that because every young male wants a Porsche 911. They all want a Lamborghini. They all want a Ferrari. They all want to get rich, and they all understand the 9-to-5 scam that's going on in the world. So I get it. The majority of our audience are males. I think we're at like 80-20. We need more females in wholesaling, honestly, because they close better. But I won't get into that right now. So the problem is, when you look at the average young male who looks into virtual wholesaling, they have to tell themselves this one question. Where I live in LA, I live in New York. Where should I virtually wholesale? When you look at a young male, the mind of a young male, Their geography of the United States is very skewed towards only two things that they know. They know where their family's from geographically, and then they know sports teams. This is not a joke. The average 19-year-old, if you ask them where in the United States are cities, they're only going to name cities that have NBA or NFL teams. This is not a joke. This is actual statistics. So if a city does not have a professional sports team, it is not on anyone's radar. The only reason a 20-year-old guy in college knows Oklahoma City is because KD and Russell Westbrook and James Harden used to be on a basketball team in that city. The amount of young men that don't know anything else about it, it's insanity to me. So the problem is when you look at the most new wholesalers, what they do is they go and just randomly pick where there's an NBA or NFL team. There is, and I promise you, there's not a flood of virtual wholesalers going after Spartanburg, South Carolina. It is just not a thing. No one's attacking Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. There ain't no professional teams there. So the average young buck ain't doing that. But let me tell you the one thing about this algorithm that's really cool is the amount of cash buyers in Spartanburg, South Carolina does not change based off how many NBA teams there. It's based off a population. And who is the average cash buyer? It is usually an older person, not older, but like they're over the age of 45, 50, and they're buying houses for cash to rent them out or to flip. They're not 20-year-olds. I'm a rare exception. So those people stay in their cities and they're not in the big cities. So you got to think about it like this. If I do areas like Manchester, New Hampshire, which I bet no one even thought about this, right? If you're doing Tulsa, Oklahoma, very, very rare. Lubbock, Texas, right? Tyler, Texas. We think of all these little cities that like no one's doing. Ogden, Utah, right? Fresno, California. Like I can go Medford, Oregon, right? We can go on and all these little niched out cities. Toledo, Ohio, right? Columbus, Ohio State, and they kind of got that. But like, think about this. Fort Wayne, Indiana. No one's doing this. But these are cities that have 150, 200,000 people in them. But you don't do it because you don't know about it. So I'm telling everybody, if you could find a city or county that has over 100,000 people and the median home price is under 500 grand, it is insanely good. I did a Zoom a couple of days ago, and this military veterans asking me like, what's a good area? And I told my theory on military cities that they have massive populations. They have they have great economies because when the economy tanks, the city's still doing well. Like Columbus, Georgia, I'm pretty sure that's where the Marine sniper training is. There's not an economic problem for a pizza shop in Columbus, Georgia in the 2008 crash. Yeah, it's a little bad, but the military is still there and they're still getting their money. And no matter how bad the economy is, the U.S. military is still going to give soldiers money and they're still going to go and buy pizza. So military towns have this little bubble where real estate's actually pretty protected during a downturn. And it's actually pretty cool because, yeah, we got the military members there, but also who's got to feed the military members? Who is going to go, I don't know, for example, like do the laundromat, and who's going to be the mechanic for the guys' cars? Because I think it's a stereotype in the U.S. military. If you're in the Army, you buy like a Camaro or a Mustang. So it's like who's the mechanic for all those guys? And I wish this was like I would say that's a stereotype, but a lot of veterans, it's the first thing they buy with their money. So the thing about it is, just think of like niched out markets that no one's talking about. If they meet those two criteria, you can do it. Like, guys, ask AI. AI will literally spit it out for you. It's insane to me. But this is how you make a massive change. You just got to be in the right market. Now, let's talk about some other things about speed, okay? I told Rick to wear black today because we're visiting the wholesalers graveyard today. We are at the tombstones. Specifically, I want to talk about the 4 tombstones of why so many wholesalers fail. And I'm not kidding. I know this is sacrilegious, but I'm going to buy a plot of land, maybe just buy a tombstone and just write out some of the stupid issues I see wholesalers make. And I'm just going to leave flowers every single week and cry.
Why don't you etch their final saying on their
Well,
tombstone?
I'm etching their sayings right now.
Okay.
These are the two etchings we're going to put, okay? And hopefully you guys give me a flower chat in the emoji in the comment section, because
what?
A flower emoji. We got to give flowers to the tombs of the lost wholesalers that never reached their dreams because they let this thing stop them. So we got to do it. So let's talk about the first etching we're going to put on here, okay?
That reminds me of one of my first probate marketing deeds from the dead. It didn't go well.
So the first etching is going to be consistency. And this is kind of like the most obvious one. We got the flowers. Thank you guys so much. Please, let's respect the lost dreams, the lost Lamborghinis from these 18-year-olds they could have had. But consistency is number one. This is the easiest one, guys. Just show up. My favorite person is the type of wholesaler that tells me they just can't be consistent. And I'm probably going to get a little in trouble here. Guys, I don't miss a meal. Okay, you guys know this, all right? I ain't too big, I ain't too small, but I don't miss no meal. I do not forget. I'll let everyone know. Let me give you a secret about me and Rick. We do not forget to eat dinner. That's something I don't forget. I just don't, I forgot to eat dinner today. You know how people say, I forgot to call today, or forgot to pull my list, or forgot. Well, you don't forget to eat dinner. You know why? Because your belly is going to let you know that you're hungry. The thing about in wholesaling real estate is if you forget to cold call, your wallet is going to be screaming at you. Your bank account being broke is constantly going to be around you. It should be a stench to be broke. And I'm not saying that in a mean way, but like, you gotta think about this. Like, consistency is showing up and doing it. So if you go out here and you eat dinner every night, you're the most consistent person ever. And if you're, I'm not a bigger person, if you're not skinny, it's like you always eat dinner, right? Well, why don't you treat wholesaling and cold calling and marketing just like you treat dinner? You do it. I've gone on a limb on some people, some bigger people. And that's not a mean thing to say, but I always say this. I'm like, you like food, right? It's like, what is that supposed to mean? I'm like, bro, I love food too. Trust me. All right. I can, if I am left unattended, I can destroy an entire pepperoni pizza. Rick can vouch for me. Mm-hmm. I can do it. All right. It has been done before. Now, the thing about this is I tell these people, I say, hey, you have to make this a rule. If you do not make 100 cold calls for the day, you do not eat. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, you don't eat dinner until you make 100 cold calls. It's like, you can't do that to me. I'll starve. I'm like, bro, you ain't going to starve. Okay, you will not die if you don't eat dinner for the night. But the thing is, the point of this is it should be so, like, the incentive to not eat dinner is pretty great. Like, we all like to eat dinner. It's not fun not to eat dinner. So you're like, oh, Dad, sorry, I can't talk to you right now. I have to make my 100 calls. Or I'm not eating. And I think this part of the human spirit has not been delved in a while. And maybe I'm a little evil for this, but it's like back in the day, 4,000 years ago, when our ancestors were fighting saber-toothed tigers and crazy animals and alligators, if you don't go and hunt as a man for your family, you don't eat dinner tonight. And so that kind of pressure has always evolved human beings to always do better stuff, right? And, like, I'm not getting into gender stereotypes in 5,000 years ago, but like, for a lot of women, right, if you didn't go gather, you got no food either for the day. So it's like, dang, are we going to let our children starve, or are we going out here and get something so we can eat? I think that mindset has helped humans survive. And I think we got to put some of this mindset in wholesaling if we have a consistency problem, right? Mm-hmm. We see that all the stinking time. Now, the next etching that I'm going to put on here is wrong lists. This breaks my heart more than anything sometimes. But why this gets the most flower emojis from me is I see so many wholesalers. They have the right attitude. They have the right consistency. They have the right calling. They have the right scripts. They throw all day into here. They're in the perfect market. Everything is good. Except they decide to cold call Zillow Fizbos for 8 hours a day. And they want to know why they have lost wholesaling or why it didn't work for them. The wrong lists. And more specifically, wrong skip tracing. Oh, dude. There is this one skip tracing company, I'm going to talk about it. They're like, I'm not going to say how much it is. It's like a stupid amount. It's over 4 cents a record, which I think is ridiculous. And like, I remember seeing these like videos from people saying, oh, you have a list of 5,000 leads you pulled? Just go pay 12 cents a record. I don't think anyone charges 12 cents anymore, right? I'm not looking to mention anyone, but like, this is just like a random quote, right? 12 cents a record. And then they're like, okay, well, just put $600 in your credit card and you can get this skip traced. Bro, what are you talking about? This is 2025. We're spending $600 in skip tracing? Homeboy, I can get 15,000 for $49 at XLEADS included. But like the thing is, y'all guys will blow your entire budget on a list like this and you have nothing else to do. It's like, and it's the worst dookie skip tracing I've ever seen because they give out other stuff. And so they try to make up the cost. They try to like upcharge you 9 cents for this. It's just, it breaks my heart. So I see a lot of people do the wrong lists. I have seen people unfortunately spend, I have personally have talked to people that have spent $10,000, $12,000 on PPL leads. They got no deals from it. And now they had to quit wholesaling. And they're like, Zach, what do I do? And I'm like, well, welcome to the game. Learn how to do it without any money. Then you can get in the game. But the thing is, I've seen people personally spend, I mean, you've seen it, right? 6-7 grand on direct mail and completely flop because they did the wrong list. They didn't know how to filter correctly. I've seen people do all these things. It just breaks my heart.
Here's the problem with the wrong list, the graveyard syndrome is this is usually when you're the most excited. And then what do we say? I'll do what? Anything. Here's the problem with this. And kind of Tony Robbins like clarifies this well. You're at your peak excited state in wholesaling right here. But here's the problem. You're over here like take massive action, you get it done. This is the massive action. And I'm going to prove my point right now. Say I want to like, I don't know if that's a good idea. Say I want to be a master snow skier. I've never snow skied a day in my life. I'm going to do whatever it takes to do snow skiing, but I've decided to go the wrong direction and take a ton of action. I'm going to try to snow ski in Florida. Now, in Pensacola and up, you had a shot last week. But the reality is no matter how hard you try, no matter how much money you throw at it, if you stay in the state of Florida, you will not be a good snow skier. It's like if you want to hunt polar bears and you want to go to Jamaica, you're not going to find them there. So this just means you took a massive action in the completely wrong direction. And the problem is once you do this, people want to start to blame everything. And this is where you hear the word saturation. This is actually the biggest product of the word saturation. I love that you guys took massive action. And I've done this personally myself, and I understand this. But don't let the feedback drive you out of the business. And don't start trying to find something to blame. Just go, okay, I need to take precise action, massive action, and get the right list. Because if you start chasing the wrong list, and remember, the word list is misleading. Whatever the source is, if you don't do it correctly, if it costs too much and the biggest problem with direct mail is people do it once and they go, it didn't work. You didn't read the instruction manual. You did it, but you didn't understand it. And this is the problem, most wrong list. Then we start the blame game and go, oh, it's too saturated. I can't do it. And I'm telling you, the wrong list is, we get more wholesalers buried under this one. The consistency, Zach's already proven to you. You guys have it. Why? Forget the eating part. God knows I love to eat. The problem with eating is it's biological. Your nervous system will remind you to do it. That's why, where we are as a nation, I'm not going to go over that. But people eat too. Everything's. Listen, here's the reality, guys. Let's do the easy hard situation again. How easy is it to eat a pizza or a piece of bagged up processed food? It's super simple. It tastes wonderful. It's easy up front, but it's really hard at the end. It's the same argument when you do that. So let's get something that's not as biological. Why do you brush your teeth? Oh, Rick, I don't want bad breath. I don't want my teeth to rot out. Once again, it is a habit. And if you don't do it, bad things are going to happen. Consistency is all built into us, but most of us don't know how to do it. We don't, like, nobody teaches you a class on how to discipline yourself to do certain stuff. And either you learn how to do it by accident or you do it on purpose. One way or the other, you're going to get a lesson on it. But guys, back to my ADHD with the wrong list, man. This one almost took me out completely. I tried like everything. And the idea is if you're on the wrong list, no matter how much effort you put towards it, it's not going to change the outcome. The good news is you just need to do slight pivots and understand. And here's the key to it. If the list seems super easy to get, I didn't have to do any work to it, and it has all the information.
No work and no money. That's the problem.
It's going to be really hard at the end.
If you have to work but it costs money, that's okay.
Guys, I'm telling you, man, a lot of you do this, and I reward you for your activity level. But as Tony Robbins says all the time, all the activity in the world is not going to change the outcome with the wrong list. If you are doing nothing but calling people on Fizbo Zillows, don't get me wrong, you can find deals in there. If you don't plan on getting through 10,000 calls, you're not getting a deal. But a lot of you will pull 100, and then you go, Rick, it's too saturated. It's too saturated. How many calls did you make? So you got to look at all the data when you do it. If you do the wrong list, no matter how much effort you put in, it's just like in America, like when you go to put gas in your car, you can put regular gas or you can put diesel. Even though the nozzle's colored green for diesel, and I believe diesel's thicker where you can't stick it in a regular gas tank, people still this day find a way to shove that thing in there because they have to take massive action, and then they fill the car with diesel and it goes a mile and then it stops. No matter how much work that mechanic does, he can't fix it. They either got to replace all the parts in the engine, pull the fuel out and redo it, or you got to put in the right fuel. Are you putting in diesel or are you putting in regular fuel? You've got to make that determination in the wholesaling. And by the way, most people screw this up. It's not the end of the world. Most of the time you screw it up because you're looking for the easiest path, because your entire life has been derived around, let me do what's easiest for me. To truly make a difference in life and truly to make a change, especially financial, you're going to have to be willing to do the hard stuff. If you can't accept that truth, shut this off right now. It's the truth. Why do me and Zach do it? Because we don't have anything to sell you, so I can tell you the truth. And if you understand that and grasp it, if you can start doing the stuff like we told you on the other side over here, and do this, you're going to have a foundation of how all this works. Because remember, you're doing this yourself, then you're paying people. Have you ever paid someone to do something that you don't understand? I do all the time, and I have a million questions. Wouldn't you be better off learning the fundamentals of the business you decided to make a career in? You have to do it, guys. Wrong list. Reward you for the effort, but please don't make it your excuse train. Just make the pivots. Go back, do the hard work up front, and you can get done whatever you need to get done.
Oh, yeah. So that is our second gravestone. Please pray for the lost wholesalers on this journey. All back on the 9-to-5 grind. Not good. I don't think everyone talks about 9-to-5. 9-to-5 is honestly, it's like 7-to-7 if you really look at it. To get up, to prepare, to drive back, to think about it. Your boss called. It's really a 7-to-7, but I ain't getting into that right now. But the next part we're going to etch tonight, and it's flower emojis, please, is probably the easiest ones that I've honestly seen. And this one's just, it's insane to me how bad this is, but like people just don't listen to me. But these are just bad scripts. I don't know how that one got in there. Bad scripts. Guys, I don't even know how this is even possible. Like, the way I look at it, like, this feels like it's like Wedding Crashers to me. It's like, how are you at this wedding? Nobody knows you. And what I mean by this is you guys will go out here and take all my information, right? We have the largest wholesaling community in the country, freewholesaling.com. We have the largest wholesaling course. You guys subscribe. You watch my live streams. You hear how I cold call. You hear all these things. And you come and ask me, Zach, I'm getting nowhere. I have followed your advice to a T, step by step. I've done it all. I just haven't gotten anything. I'm like, huh, that's really weird. Yeah, Zach, I called 1,000 drawing for dollars leads. I got nothing. So you're a liar. Your information sucks. And I get all this. I'm like, okay, well, first I always say, I'm like, well, congratulations. You are the first person to actually prove me wrong. You've called 1,000 probates. You haven't got one deal. Let me just ask you a couple questions just to confirm, because you got a special prize right here. Number one, what list did you pull? Okay, perfect. How did you skip trace it? Then like true people search. I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, so what is your script for telling the seller? Like, oh yeah, this is it. Okay. Hello, this is Zach with Zach Home Equity Solutions, and I'm ready to give you a cash offer right now for your property. What do you say? And my mind is like, what? Are you serious? That's what you said to a seller who's going through a probate. I'm Zach with Zach Home Offer Solutions, and we're here to give you a no-obligation cash offer in your house. And we are a home solutions property company, and we're ready to help you a solution with any problems you have. And it's like a 5-hour monologue. Click. Guys, and I say, where do you learn this script from? And then I get the greatest comments. Wolf of Wall Street, I got that once. Boiler Room, I got that once. Jordan Belfort, Greg Cardone told me this one. And then you hear this one. Then the worst ones I got always from other YouTuber about wholesaling. I'm like, dude, you're listening to another YouTuber about wholesaling, about how to cold call. And this guy doesn't know how to cold call. It drives me crazy. I'm like, can that YouTuber that you're listening to about how to wholesale real estate, can they pop off 500 testimonials last year of successful people? Probably not. Just give me a list of, they ain't going to do it. So like, I don't, guys, at this point, you already know, like, I'm not talking about anyone anymore and all this stuff. Like, either you have learned from us and you know that nobody else has gotten even close to the amount of successful students in our community than anybody else. That's it. Like, there's no one else to talk about anymore. So, boom, bad scripts. So there's a reason why we have the most views on wholesaling real estate than any other YouTube channel in history. Every single month, we get more views, more watch time, more people in our community than anybody else, because this info works. So when you decide and you consciously know that we get the most views, we get the most watch time, we get the most people in the community, and then you actively say, yeah, I know that's true, but I'm still going to use somebody else's script with your system. I don't even know what to tell you here. Like, this is depressing. So this is what I think a lot of people have about success is they try to use some scripts. Like, for example, there's a lot of people that there's a lot of these people on YouTube that do on-market wholesaling. I don't have a personal problem with it if that's something you do. But my personal vendetta goes on when you go and use like an on-market realtor script with an off-market code violation. It is not going to work. Yes, pineapples taste really good when you cut them up and you serve them freshly chilled. But when you start putting it on a pizza, that's when I start having an issue with you, okay? Bacon is really good. But once you start putting bacon with chocolate, bro, what are we doing? So that's the problem with some of you guys, okay? You put your pineapples on the pizzas. I love fish, by the way. Fish, oh my gosh. What did we get? Kingfish yesterday? What did you catch? You got like 30-pound of kingfish. I was just like, eating that thing up. So you just cut up raw kingfish, and I was just eating that with soy sauce last night. But once you start putting fish on pizza, I'm like, dude, get out of here. All right. So the thing is, the script that you're getting it from is not bad, but this is not the system that most wholesalers have success with. And do not try to pretend to make your own script. Guys, our scripts work. Our scripts work for off-market sellers. What is it? What do you call it? DTN?
Which one? ODN.
ODN, that's your thing. I'm not into ODN, but off-market.
Direct to seller.
Direct to seller.
Needs to sell.
Needs to sell.
You hit that trifecta, you're hitting out of the park and wholesale.
So if you use that for our scripts, they're going to work. If you use another script, it ain't going to work. And I'm not saying this for my ego. I'm not trying to say it, but like, there has to come to a point where it's like, wow, Zach and Rick have had more successful people than anybody else. Primarily, we're the only ones that don't have a course to sell you. But number one, because of this, you should probably use our systems. That's all I'm going to tell you. So bad scripts, probably the worst one. And here's the last one. I don't know why I have to write this, but like, no common sense. And this is something I can't teach you. I don't even understand this, but like, guys, if you've cold called for like 30, 60, 70 hours and you're getting 2 calls per hour on average, you need to have some common sense. Okay, wow, this is not typical and I need to make a change, or ask Zach, or make a post in the community like, what's going on here? If you go, here's another thing, like you might throw 4 months into wholesaling and get no good results, and you try to do it, I'm a lone wolf, bro. Stop trying to be that I'm a lone wolf. Stop that stupid stuff. A wolf pack of 40 wolves is going to beat the cool lone wolf guy, all right? I promise you this. Stop being a cool lone wolf. Be in our free communities. Hey, I'm struggling. What do you think I need to do? And there'll be 100 wholesalers who are here there to help you out. Some of you guys just have no common sense. Like, hey, if I have a problem, maybe I should ask Zach's community. Got a lot of 6, 7, 8-figure wholesalers in there. Maybe I should ask them. They'd love to help, right?
Yeah.
No common sense. What are some no common sense things you found?
I'd
love it. I'd love you to go off here.
I like to play with the new.
Oh boy.
So first one on bad scripts. The whole goal is, listen, I'm okay using a script to get anything started and learn the mechanics of it. Scripts are what you guys used in school. But here's the problem. You all forget scripts and you forget it. So any type of acronym, I don't know, I'm spelling that right, works well. That's why we teach you MCTPs. But the goal in every one of me and Zach's teachings is to convert scripts to what? Conversations. Why? If you ever want to know if you sound authentic, just listen to yourself talk to your friends, your family, maybe not family, because some of you guys are doing a lot of yelling. But the goal is to get a script to a conversation. You can start out at a script. It means I'll give you the basic scripts. But at some point, you have to have an open dialogue to have rapport, to build conversation. If you're constantly asking yes/no questions and you're doing all the talking, you will never get to a conversation. And you have a choice. Do you want to win on conversation or price? You know who wins on price? People that go on MLS, people that just make cash offers. They just don't. I just want the house. Listen, I could care less about the house. I want the deal to solve the seller's problem, to solve my problem and my family's problem. The only way I'm getting there is with a conversation. Am I going to win on price? I probably have to make 5,000 offers to get 2 or 3 deals just to win on price, and they'll be marginal at best. So do you want to solve your problem on price or conversation? If you want to do price, just go over to MLS, go over to pay per lead, go all that, because you will win on price. I have no idea if you're going to make any money, and good luck with that. So you understand the difference between scripts and conversation. Some people get so stuck on scripts, they never get out of it, and they're very monotone. I had somebody cold call me yesterday. I just caught me some weaknesses, decided to answer the phone. It's usually out of Miami or California. I don't know why. And, hey, I'm the greatest cold caller ever. I'd do anything to work for you. I want a cold call for you right now. And I said, no, I'm not interested. And he goes, okay. I go, are you serious? Like if you took an initial no, why would I ever hire you to be a cold caller? And you got to understand, he was just ripping through what? A script. He was so stuck on a script. He was so focused on the next 100 people he had to talk to, he could not be in the present moment to connect with me. And until you are, and what do? I remind people, I go, dude, I'm right here. You're talking 100 customers in front of me. And that's what a lot of you guys do. And I get it, because you want to keep moving and I want you to do the urgency. But you're going, when you get somebody and you've got past the disqualifying and you're on the qualify, you got to be all in. You got to be present and you got to listen, the 80-20 rule. The next one, common sense. Don't even get me started on the common sense. I see this all the time. Guys, honestly, where's my pen? If you think the grass is greener on the other side, go for it. That's what I tell everyone. Grass, greener. What do I mean by this? A lot of you go, you know what, Zach and Rick, and we have these people. I work so hard. I've only gotten like a deal or two. I've done the list you've done. There's got to be an easier way. And guess what? Someone's going to sell you the easy way. Easy is something that is sold. Why? Because to get a sale, you just need to collect the money. That's success. The hard work is behind the veil on it. So I promise you, if I go back to this chart, this is going to be hard. It's designed to that. Think about the first time you ever did football practice, soccer practice, band practice. You sucked. Did you get better magically over? No, you just got a little bit better each day and you kept going. So the idea is, as this goes there, you're kind of going like this. It's more like this and you work your way up. You got to start hard to get to easy. But some of you go, oh, I need an easier way. Be very careful because what are you doing by doing that? You're going to the grass is greener on the other side and you just threw your common sense out the window. Why? Oh, I'm going to do this program and they're going to show me how leads are delivered in my box. All I got to do is close them. I go, how many people have you closed? I've only closed like one. The other one fell apart. I go, great. So now you're going to spend 5 to 10 grand a month and see how good of a closer you are. Let me know how that works out for you. And that's the problem. Most of them, now they're going to get a ton of leads, right? But the problem is most of these leads, all they want is money. They are not interested in having a relationship or a conversation. And the whole point of wholesaling, guys, if you don't get this, I do not service probably 95% of the real estate community. They are a waste of my time. I spend no energy. I go find that 5%, the niche market. Ready? Rick, how do you find the niche market? Get in your lane. Go get it. And then when you get it and you get to 5 deals, you can start to move over only while you're still doing this. You have to keep it going. You have to keep inbound marketing. Then we start outbound marketing. And you go, Rick, man, that's taxing. I go, well, let me ask, why did you join wholesaling? Because my bank account is negative or zero. Well, let's get a few thousand, 10,000, and let's find a few more 10,000s. And why we do that, we're going to spend a little bit of money on outbound marketing. And then once we get this rolling, you can decide what you want to stop over here. And you know what? You've earned that right. But there is so many of you guys want to earn the right, but you don't want to do the work. And I'm going to be honest with you, it pisses me off. Like I did this. A lot of you weren't around when I saw I did. I still do this today. And you've got to understand, if you don't have common sense, you are going to get killed. Most of your wholesaling, unless you are in the wrong list, are small, minute changes. And I want you to understand the value of me and Zach. A lot of you think it's just me and Zach. No, it's the community. We have the largest wholesaling communities. You can pick however you want, Facebook, school, whatever you want. Why? Because we actually help people out. Forget my ego. I don't need to be the greatest wholesaler. I don't need to be the greatest closer. None of that doesn't matter. The only person that matters that is to each person's individual ego. Check it at the door. Get it over with. Guys, common sense. The grass ain't greener on the other side because you're going to have the same struggles because you're kind of looking for something to do easier. Instead, do the harder stuff. Chase these lists down and get them, and you'll get a ton of opportunities. But stop trying to make everything easier. And I'm telling you, you are on your path with wholesaling. So it's consistency. We all know the wrong list we talked about. Bad scripts, start with the script and then to work your way to our conversations. And a lot of times you can just ask yourself a common sense question. Why is this not working for me? And until you can answer this question, am I doing the right amount of work to be successful in wholesaling? Answer that before you go, is this working? And a lot of times you just got to double down and work on the areas unless you're in this zone and you haven't figured out by that. But common sense should easily tell you right over here, these two should be interchangeable in my opinion. But that's just Rick's opinion. Guys, I love wholesaling, but you got to just keep on going. You got to pound it. You got to work it. And in the beginning, it's hard, but you're super excitable. Just use that excitement and go get your government list. There's a reason we repeat it over and over. Why? Because it works and it's what you guys need.
Oh, yeah. So, all right. Now I got to share this because now we really got to help these people out here. So I'll break this down. All righty. No, what somebody said? It said common sense isn't common. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. But guys, it's just normal. Like, hey, maybe I should go reach out to somebody in the communities that we have. ZachDiscord.com, Pearlson.com, whatever you want. But pretty common. Okay. So let's really break this all down here, okay? And let's kind of share exactly kind of what I'm calling the speed formula. So let's get rid of this on the bottom. Don't distract anybody. All right. So what I'm calling the speed formula. So you want some deals, so I'm going to tell you to do. Now, how do I make a lock? Do you know how to draw a lock?
Just do it upside down U.
What?
Give me the damn thing.
Hold on. It's like that unlocked, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm pretty bad. That's rough. Yeah, the light's covering it. It's fine. That looks a little weird. So we're gonna. Here, can you draw a lock? Can't draw a lock. I don't know why.
You're trying to embarrass me?
No, just do it all lock because we're unlocking the secrets. There we go. This is what. Oh wow. We're calling this the speed formula.
And
No, it's supposed to be unlocked.
well, you got to unlock it first.
You have to unlock the lock.
Okay, easy, Tiger. Hold on.
There we go. Unlock the lock. There we go. All right, let me grab a pen too. All right, there we go. Look at that. Cha-ching. There we go. We are unlocked.
Okay.
That's good enough. All right. So there are 4 ways that we are going to do the speed formula. Okay. Number 1, we're going to focus on what we call high motivation. So these are going to be sellers with extremely high motivation. I think that's the most common. I think everyone knows about that. We want to have very high motivation. Next, we want to have what we call rare lists. We want lists that the common person cannot get. If you get motivated sellers with very, very rare lists, you're going to do good. Now, the next part, I'm calling this rare hustle. Why am I calling this rare hustle? Because your attitude, the amount of work you're going to be putting into wholesaling, the amount of work you're going to put in this business, it has to be rare. Like the lists have to be rare. The amount of hustle you put in this business has to be extremely rare too. And the last part, what I'm calling it the X factor. I'm telling you right now, the people that actually start doing deals quick and have success, they kind of have this X factor. They have this unbroken spirit in wholesaling where it's like they have the it factor. You need to start having that it factor. And if you don't have that it factor, you got to learn how to get the it factor in wholesaling. So what are some very high motivated lists, right? Again, we kind of talked about this before, but like, what is it? Pre-foreclosures. Pre-foreclosures, probates, right? There's a lot of different ones out here. One thing about like a high motivation list is going to be like an AI list, which I'm going to show you how to do that too. AI lists are pretty cool. You can actually get them for free. There's a lot of motivation on a list like that. Fire damage, properties. Fire damage properties. Maybe like the eviction list too. That's pretty motivated. Evictions here. Am I kind of... There we go. Digital bandit signs would be nice too. These are motivated people. Now, what are rare lists? What is data that is very rare? What is data that is very, very hard to get? Now, there's a little difference here, and I gotta cut that off. Sorry, guys. Fire damage properties. Let's make this a little smaller. Fire damage properties. Here we go. Properties, right? Okay, so rare lists. The first thing we have to focus on is what I call fresh data, right from the produce department, right from the farm. So I was talking to Rick about this yesterday. So he was fishing all day, and he came back with, what did he catch? How many kingfish? 4 kingfish. Anything else?
A lot of sharks.
A lot of sharks?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Kingfish, sharks, all these things, right? And when I know that he goes fishing, I go to his house. The reason why I go to his house is because he has fish that he literally caught that day. Fresh from, what do we call it? We call it God's grocery store, right? Right there, literally caught that fish. Thing literally died probably like an hour ago. And that's what I eat for dinner when he goes fishing. You know why? It is the greatest food you are going to have when it comes to fish. And the thing about it is you could go to any seafood place. You can go to any 5-star seafood restaurant in the entire world. It's really, really hard for that food to taste better than just that fish. Because that 5-star restaurant has to get it frozen, shipped across the world, or you go to a seafood restaurant in France, they ain't catching no tuna in France. Okay, that thing's getting shipped overnight at best. Then it's being cut and cooked 72 hours later. And I don't know if you've ever ate fish 72 hours in the fridge. It tastes a lot different than just right there. And that's the thing about fresh data. I got an email from some software company when being an affiliate. They're like, we sell probate lists for $1 each. I'm like, 100 probates is $100? Like, yeah. And we'll give you 40% commission. I'm like, what? I'm like, probates, I just click a button, click export, and boom, I got 200 for free. Yeah, but our VAs go to some of the harder places and we scrape the data. I'm like, bro, you're using AI and just scraping the data, which I'm going to show you how to do this today too. That's not hard. You guys are literally just doing that. And so fresh data is like, it's like the fish, you get it right there. And so liens, right? Bankruptcies. Like we can talk about this all day, tax delinquent properties, right? If you can get the data fresh, and what I mean fresh, it's like this lead was just produced within 24 to 48 hours. That is fresh. I know people that sell you lien lists and other type of these, like I'm seeing this more and more. We have like 4 or 5 companies I've seen. They're trying to sell you like foreclosure data and like government lists for like $1 each. Guys, they pulled that list, and that list is like 8, 9, 10 days old, and you're paying a stupid amount of money for it, right? You're paying more than what it costs to get XLEADS when you could just get it from the county yourself for free. And so fresh data is always going to be the best. It's not about paying for the data. It's seeing how fresh and awesome it is. So fresh data is king. Fresh data is the best here. So we got to understand this. Now, we need to make it an effort to go after new government lists daily. All right, daily. We can figure out how to get it online or email to us. Get new government data every single day, because there's a lot of wholesalers getting these lists. It's just getting more and more common, unfortunately. If you ever check out my Instagram is called Flip with Zach. I'll do videos on like, hey, this is how I use AI to pull probates for free. And these videos, and I don't know why, but they get like 7, 8, 900,000 views. Like, I didn't know you could do this. It's like, ugh, more and more people are learning how to do this. It's not good. But, at least I'm educating them, not a stupid, I'm not going to say that. Basically, not a stupid real estate, whatever. No program here. But the thing is, the fresher the data, always going to be better. So if you want better fish, get it fresh and get it every single day. I don't know. This is just, in my opinion, this is common sense. But like, if you really want to get a deal fast, make it an insane effort to get the list today, like within 24 hours. Don't pull the list weekly, pull it daily. Speed is your most important thing here. Now, on top of this too, sticky notes on doors. I don't know why this is crazy. You just put sticky notes on as many doors as you can. This is another rare thing. People, on average, don't put 100 sticky notes on motivated sellers' doors. They don't. They rather call or text them. I prefer to put a sticky note in a house than call or text anymore, because I can listen to my music while by putting sticky notes in the house, and I can't listen to music while I'm calling sellers. And so automatically, it's way more fun to drive for dollars and reverse drive for dollars than it is to cold call and text. And I'm making more money per hour. So I get to listen to my awesome music, and I get to do it. That's it. It's so simple, right? And I like to do stuff with music. It's always way more fun for me. And yeah, you know what I was playing today for the live stream? Baby Keem. You know Baby Keem? Trademark USA. That was the song before today's stream. You just gotta have fun. Right now the live stream, I put Trademark USA on. Rick thinks I'm crazy, but it's fun. I'm calling this instant lean marketing. Guys, if you're not having fun in this business, what are you doing? And then the next song I'd play like The Doors or something. So like I'm all over the board, but I'm calling this instant lean marketing. When a lien gets put on a property, more specifically a tax lien, an IRS lien, a credit card debt lien list, any type of lien, once a lien gets put on the property, you instantly market to it. That's a new rule. If you want to get deals quick, okay? You want to get money, you want it fast, you talk to all the liens instantly. That's it, and it should cost you no money to do this. We ain't paying for this stuff anymore, okay? There we go. Now, I'm going to get Rick's opinion on this. Come here, I want to show you that. I don't think I told you this. This is the one part I didn't write about you. But I'm thinking about cool names for marketing.
Okay.
This is going to be, I'm going to shoot this over the bow.
Way over.
And let me know if it lands. Sometimes it doesn't land. Maybe this will cancel me. But I'm... Okay. So I'm thinking like, how do I call it good? So I'm going to say that you need to be a probate. Now, in the animal kingdom, there's predators and prey, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I say you're the probate predator.
Really?
That's a funny name. But like, guys, you have to be like a lion with probate. I don't know the best way to do this, a predator probate, whatever it is.
Let me give you a good example.
Like, you need to be like an animal with probates. I don't know how to describe it.
I used to do all the probates myself, and I was learning it. He says predator. Whatever it took for me to get in front of a lead, I did it. Now, probates are infamous for like connecting with you and then fading away because the legal process, and not everyone, some people want to take their time. You have to appeal. But sometimes 3-6 months goes by. Well, the cool thing about probates is what? They have this thing called, like, they have a case file and they have hearings and they're scheduled. So let me ask you, I don't like that word, but it's pretty accurate.
I'm trying to think of a cool name.
If you think about a predator, if the predator knows you're going to be in a specific courtroom at a specific date and a specific time, specifically to the topic that we want to address, guess what a probate predator does? I have a random run-in. Now, I don't know if you guys ever been to court.
I wouldn't do that.
I did it, and it was a monster deal. But I said to myself, I always tell you guys this: when somebody ghosts you, what's the other terminology? Ghost.
Ignores you?
When they ignore you, ghosting's the word. And
kids love that one.
I always tell you guys, go for the Hail Mary. Because ghosting is when you've tried 10 or 15 times with zero progress. So I always tell you guys what? Whenever you're working your leads, this is your lead funnel. And when a lead comes in, the idea is work them all the way down to the closing, right? So every time you talk to a lead, you should be making progress. Progress. Sometimes you go a little bit backwards in progress, but eventually every conversation you should try to move forward. Why? Because I don't get paid by the amount of hours I talk to people. I get paid on who I can help solve a problem. So when I have somebody ghost me, when we talk about probate predator, I have a case file I know exactly, which is all public document. I had a choice. Either I can sit in the courtroom. Here's the challenge. I've gone to probate court a lot. Nobody's in the damn room except for who? The judge, the lawyers, and some immediate family. So I'm telling you, hey, Rick, I'm going to do exactly what you do. Don't go in the courtroom because you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. And the attorneys are going to address you. Who are you and what are you doing here? Unless you're family, you're going to really accentuate the ghosting. They'll never hear from you again. So instead of going to the courtroom, you know what I did? I waited in the lobby and I waited till they entered, what was it? The elevator with the attorney. And then I happened to hop on there. I had a file. I was actually pulling other probates and pre-foreclosures. And I just took a risk. I said, hey, John, oh my God, I can't believe I ran into you here. Was it random? No, dude. Some of you guys think I'm crazy. This is the level I'm teaching you in wholesaling. The worst he's going to do is say, Rick, I never want to talk to you again. I never want to deal with you. I can close the case then. That's my Hail Mary. So when you do it, you got to look at a predator. Remember, not predator. When I don't take advantage of people, we help people out. But I always tell you, we have to help sellers get out of their own way. And here's what they usually tell me in probate. Rick, I was waiting to the final hearing. I didn't want to waste your time or my time. They've authorized the probate to do the sale, and we can go ahead and move forward now. But now I've done this a lot, and I'm going to tell you, it only works out a few times. I've been massively rejected. I've been yelled at. I've been called some funny names, but I don't care. At the end of the day, all I do is like, did I get a deal or did I not? And the question is, did I step on any toes? A little bit. But what's my options? Like sit back here and wait? Do you think the biggest predators in the entire world, do you think they just sit back and wait for every meal to come to them? No, they don't. So predators outside of like humans, they have to go hunt for everything they want. And I don't care if you're a guy or a girl, you have to have that mentality. I'm not talking literally, guys. But if I'm willing to go stalk somebody in a courtroom to see if I can get my probate deal because they ghosted me, are you willing to do that? I do it. I, to this day, teach my staff all sorts of tactics to get a hold of people. Who do you think came up? Not that I came up with it, but somebody, I can't find someone's information on the house. Just stick a for sale sign in the yard. I promise you, you're going to get a phone call. You've got to do those extra steps. They're not crazy, but you have to have a commitment to be resourceful in wholesaling. I never hear anybody else talk about this when it's wholesaling. It drives me nuts. We are not a corporation. I do not have a special marketing department. I don't have a sales department. I don't have a billing department. I have a wholesale department, and I got to wear every hat until I figure this out. And once I figure it out, then I can hire the seats and put them in there. But some of you guys want to skip that entire process. You want to go ahead and be like an Amazon. Listen, even Amazon started at the bottom with one guy doing everything. They originally sold books. They changed their business mantra based on what their customers wanted. And that's what you need to do. Just go out. Like the word predator is kind of funny. He mentions that, but I'm just telling you.
Like, I don't know a better name for
like, are you willing to do that? How many of you would willing to go? Somebody goes to you, you have a contract signed, nothing's worked. I know he's going to be in court in a week. Are you going to show up if it's local? If you're not, I question how resourceful you are. And if you can do that, like, where do you, like, guys, it doesn't stop. Like, some of the stuff I've done is absolutely nuts. But I've never done anything illegal with it. Do I push the boundaries? Yes. There is gray area in wholesaling. And as long as you're trying to help people out and solve a problem, and remember, your job is to help the seller sometimes get out of their own way. I can't tell you how many houses I walk in and I go, everything's fine here. I'm like, there's a hole in your roof. There's extension cords running from the neighbor's house. And your dog looks rough. And so, no, everything's fine. And they don't even know the environment they're in. So help people out, guys. Go out and just be resourceful. I think the best word for predator is just resourcefulness. Are you willing to do it? A lot of people go, okay, well, I'll hand you over to my billing department. They'll see if they can straighten out. Why don't you just solve the problem? We are not that big. Lose your ego and get it done. And then once you solve a crap load of problems, then you can get other people to help you out with it. So does that make sense?
You got to go crazy on the probates. I'm telling you.
What are you willing to do to track down like a lead? I'm not telling you to stalk them at 3 a.m. in the morning, but if they're going to go to a public court hearing, run into them by accident. And that's what I like to do.
Don't stalk at 3 a.m. Stalk at 2 a.m.
Yeah, that's a little bit nuts.
I'm just joking.
I've done bandit signs at 2 a.m.
Next thing I'm saying speed run, drawing for dollars. What I mean by this is, if you want to get a deal fast, I think another suggestion to give to everyone is there's a quick test with drawing for dollars. There's drawing for dollars, right? Like you're driving around and look for the ideal house, but there's also drawing for dollars where you're kind of doing it fast. And the rule I have for drawing for dollars sometimes, if you want to like get the real good properties, this is easy. If you're driving and the house does not catch your attention, like, whoa, what's going on here? Throw it out on the list. Like, do it really fast. And what I mean by this is go to a nicer neighborhood and just drive around until you find an ugly house. See, a lot of people like to go out here and be like, probate prowler. That's way better. We're going to use that one. Probate prowler. We're on the prowl. Okay. Rawr. All right. But like, just do you drive for hours where you're driving really quick and you just look for the ugliest type of house as possible and go for the low-hanging fruit? Now, it's a little different than slow drawing for dollars. I call it speed running drawing for dollars, like a video game term, and you go from there. And then one of my favorite ones is DoorDash. Ready for this one? DoorDash. Delinquencies. Whatever, I didn't spell it right. I don't really care. DoorDash delinquencies. All right, I'll spell it right. DoorDash tax delinquencies.
DEL.
DEL.
IN.
IN.
QU.
QU.
ENCY. Somebody spell check me on it.
Delinquency. Whatever. I don't really care. I make enough money not to spell. Whatever. You told me how to spell it. Whatever. I'm not a brain fart. DoorDash delinquencies. Now, what I mean by this is DoorDash delinquent properties. And so this is kind of another play on words, and I'm trying to use acronyms to get something through your mind finally, for DoorDash delinquencies. So a lot of people know, DoorDashing, right? So, DoorDashing?
Yes.
So it's like, oh, I'm very proud. I've never DoorDashed in my life. I don't know. I make enough money, but I'm still going to go there. You know why? Because people eat the food when they do it. They'll grab a French fry.
Seriously?
Oh yeah, and they want their tip. They want a massive tip. And here's the problem with them: you tip them before you order it. So if you tip them bad, or it's not tipped enough, they have your food. They do whatever they want to it. I'm already worried about the fast food guys spitting my food. Now I got to deal with another risk. Not dealing with that. So one thing I'll tell you is DoorDash delinquencies is DoorDashers, they'll go to McDonald's or whatever, they'll pick up the order and then they'll drive to the person's house because they're too lazy. Now, why don't you start doing this? The average DoorDasher, what are they making? 20 bucks an hour after gas or whatever, maybe, hopefully. Well, why don't you make $200 an hour? Okay. Take your McDonald's orders, which are your tax delinquencies. Okay, this is your list, tax delinquent properties. Throw that sucker into AI and say, hey, create a route for me, and it'll create a route. Google Gemini AI is really good. And then what you're going to do is you're going to DoorDash, and you're just going to put sticky notes on those 10, 15, 20 houses. Done. Gemini AI is the best one because Gemini is owned by Google Maps. Done. Hey, I have these 14 addresses. What's the most effective route for me to go out here and go to each one? Simple, right? Yep. I'm calling it DoorDash delinquencies. And this is another quick way to get deals. But guys, I am trying to throw the kitchen stinking sink at you to try to get you to go do real estate deals. Now, the next one, I'm calling this rare hustle. All right. I'm doing this rare hustle. Okay. Rare hustle. Number one, first and foremost, double tap the phones. What do you mean by double tap phones? When you call a lead and they don't answer, you call them back. You do it. Okay? You call them back. Think about this. When somebody picks up, you call them, they don't pick up, you call them back, you double tap. Hit them twice. Come on. Done. All right. Next here, we're going to double text. Okay? We're getting a little crazy here. They don't answer a text on a probate pre-foreclosure. We're going to text them again. I'm at the point now, you guys, these are such motivated lists. We're going crazy. We're double tapping the phones. We're double texting. We're doing things your competition ain't doing. We're doing stuff no one else is talking about. Double tap the text. Next, okay, we're going to do some football stuff. I'm calling this 2-minute drill marketing. All right? So in the 2-minute drill in football, are you a little more aggressive? Are you running the ball? Are you doing pitch and catch? No, you're throwing it hard, right? You're going deep down the field. You're doing riskier plays because it's 2 minutes. We got to go crazy. And if we want to score quick, the 2-minute drill is the best thing. If we want to score on a wholesaling deal, we got to start treating wholesaling like a 2-minute drill. We got to stop trying to stay away from risk. We got to go crazy. We got to go hard. We got to play hard. We cannot go out here and be lazy. We cannot be sleeping in. Guys, you're too broke to sleep in. You're too broke to go out here and not do this. You can't afford not to do this stuff. So start doing 2-minute drill marketing, right? Next here, I'm calling this arrested texting. I was on Netflix the other day and I saw Arrested Development, and then I thought about this. I wrote it on my phone. This is what I think about at night when I'm on Netflix. I think about wholesaling. This is how mentally messed up I am. Arrested texting. Guys, if someone got us arrested, they get a text from you. I know that sounds crazy, But if you can get all the arrest records for the day, figure out they own real estate, text them. No one is doing this. Be the guy or gal that does it. How much money have we made on arrest records? It's a lot, okay? And I guarantee you weren't even considering doing this. You didn't want to do this. Arrested texting. Oh, but what if they beat me up? Virtually wholesale it. I could care less. Lord, and then the last part of like rare hustle is what I call deadly follow-up. I've talked about this before. But follow up with your sellers that have any interest. Just follow up aggressively. Twice a week. Every day. I don't care. But if you want to get good deals, you have to have a rare list. But you also have to have a hustle that is rare, that is not seen from many other men and women. If you can do this, you'll have success. Then lastly, the X factors. All right, number one. The men and women that find a way. I don't know. How do I explain this? This is like football, basketball, right? Some athletes have that X factor where they just find a way in clutch situations to win. When the pressure hits them, that is when they're at their best. And that's where you have to be in wholesaling. When the pressure of you making money, the pressure of you getting deal comes and you don't fold. Hard for me to kind of like map it out there, but you have to be that rare individual. On top of that too, you have to separate from the pack. Separate from the pack. Now, here's the thing about separating against competition or other wholesalers in your market or anything like that, right? Separation's a very, very slow thing, but separation's off of percentages. So you and whoever you're wholesaling against or whatever, you might be at the same level. Then over the summer, you decide to gain skills where they don't do anything. And then slowly you keep doing an hour extra day of marketing, the other person's not. And slowly, I know it looks really slow, but over 4 or 5 years, the separation gets insane, where you can't even touch the other person. This is where I've been in my wholesaling business, where my competition locally have just, they mean nothing because I went virtual and have just expanded even more. And the thing is, I've separated myself from so many wholesalers of how successful I've been at such a young age. It's like, it doesn't even matter about my age anymore. It's about how many deals I've done. And the thing is, you have to be that person that separates from the pack. And the only way you start separating is by doing more than them over a long enough time horizon. And you got to close more deals. You got to do more marketing. You got to do a lot of this stuff, right? But I can tell everybody in here, you have to separate from the average wholesaler. There's a reason why extraordinary is called extraordinary. It's extraordinary. You have to be a cut above the rest. And in a world, in a society that tells you it's okay to just get by, it's okay just to get through the day, it's a win just to survive, that's not where I'm at. Okay, the only reason I'm at where I'm at is because I've decided to separate myself from anybody outside of my age in wholesaling. But in general, every other wholesaler in general, regardless of age or experience, I've separated above them. Because of one thing, it's the marketing. I'll be honest with you, the marketing has always been the key for me. And that's the thing I'm always going to do. Number 3 or whatever, track your stats. If you do not track your KPIs, you are done. If you don't know how many leads you have, you don't track them correctly, you are done. And then again, we're gonna go Justin Bieber here. Never say never. That's an old JB song, but never say never. And what I mean by this is never give up, never quit, never surrender, never tell yourself that you're a loser, never tell yourself it can't be done, because it will be done if you make the decision that it's going to happen. Guys, your success is completely predicated on you. And when you put the chips on the table for you and you go all in, you have to execute. Sink or swim, eat or no eat. That is how you do it. So this is exactly how to separate yourself from the pack and start getting money quick in wholesaling real estate. Again, to reiterate this, high motivation, rare lists, rare hustle, and the X factor. Screenshot this for a second and let's get it going. But guys, this is how you start doing deals. This is start getting rich. Guys, avoid the wholesaler's graveyard. Start doing the methods. Go after motivation. Start going after lists that no one else is doing. Hustle like nobody else. And have that it factor to always find a way for success. Wholesaling real estate. Guys, if you got any value from this video, do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. Join our free wholesaling community. It's called freewholesaling.com. It's completely 100% for free. And again, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe. Any parting thoughts for everyone to get them jacked up for success?
Guys, it's I think just kind of reviewing everything we talked about today. I always forget what I did on this side because of my ADHD. So just a quick summary. Put in the time. Most of you don't have money. It would be a nice luxury even if you had 10 grand to drop every month. But even if you had it, you're not going to learn. You got to learn how to talk to people. You got to learn how to negotiate. And you got to learn exactly what you're looking for. So just put in the hard work. If you put in all the hard work up front, it will get easier. If you want to take the shortcut, the grass is greener, do the easy stuff, you're going to have to get back in line and come back over. And guys, the value of working with me and Zach is we work with the largest community of wholesalers. And you can bounce ideas off. We have people in almost every other market that can help you out. We are not a one-man army. We have soldiers all over the country, all over the world that are in this fight of wholesaling. If you want to change your life and get it going, we talked about the common graveyards that take most wholesalers out. Honestly, common sense. I know we don't talk about it. It's one of the biggest ones. And the other one was just taking on the wrong lists and then calling everything saturated. So if you understand it, the highest motivation, the rare list, the rare hustle, and then the X factor. The X factor, in my opinion, is just resourcefulness at a 10x level, meaning someone can make fast, great, quick decisions under pressure. That's what the X factor is. That's kind of like the Michael Jordan, stuff like that. I've had deals go so sideways on me, and I had to think on my feet quickly from all my past experience. Remember all the reps I put in because I did all the government lists. Guys, if you want to get into this league, you want to do it, put in the work, get there, get to the X factor. The X factor is built on all your frustrations, all your failures, because that's when you really become the forged wholesaler. Do not skip the hard work. Actually go, I'm going to do the hard work because everyone else does easy is going to have to get back in line with me. If you take these steps, you're on your way to being a phenomenal wholesaler.
There you go, guys. Smash the like button, subscribe. See you at freewholesaling.com, and I'll see you there soon.
See you guys.